So we're going to talk about this director because we know that the No Other Land film, No Other Land, is the film that won Best Documentary. This was 3 weeks ago, right here in LA at the Academy Awards, what they consider the biggest event, the biggest, the biggest deal as a filmmaker to get that type of award. And you guys watched us cover the Oscars, and every bit of it was a kind of a joke, kind of a woked out joke with so much Israel, propping up Israel, and the protesters outside were ignored. But there was one moment of there was a happy moment when Best Documentary is given out. It was given out to the film No Other Land, which is they're miscalling it a pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel movie. No, it was a bringing together of Israelis and Palestinians who made the film together. That's actually the story, and it's called No Other Land. Let me throw up because we're going to get into what happened, which is it's like you said, Jay. It's sad, and then it is kind of a happier ending to what's been going on. But the main thing is nobody knows about this outside of our world because the mainstream doesn't even cover this at all. So let me grab it. So this is I recommend everyone see this. I still have to see the film. I've heard reviews of it, and I have heard people say it's literally not. It's kind of the two perspectives together, making this film together. So it was co-directed by a Palestinian filmmaker and an Israeli filmmaker, and they win Best Documentary. This is 3 weeks ago, and then what happens next is insane because yesterday early we found out that the Palestinian co-director, his name is Hamdan Ballal, he was basically attacked and then taken away, like abducted. When he went in the ambulance, then he kind of disappeared from there. And they were saying that he was abducted in the ambulance, taken by the IDF, and nobody knew where he was for a good 24 hours. We didn't know where he was. Let me grab this real quick.
And while you're grabbing that, so many rumors were actually flying around, like as that was happening. Like even just yesterday, my partner told me that she heard that he got lynched. And yeah, so there were a lot of rumors that were flying around. So I had to go do, a little bit more digging again last night to make sure that wasn't actually what happened, because it just kept getting crazier and crazier. Oh, wow. So they did actually try to lynch him too. So yeah,
no, they did not. So here's what happened. This is called a lost in translation. It was an honest mistake by the translation app that took a word that was in Israeli word, because it was just to be clear, the person who announced this was the other filmmaker. He's the one. Now this is just being shared by Khaleesi here, but the initial announcement was his co-director friend, the one that was up on the stage with him getting the award here in Hollywood just 3 weeks ago. Wow. The Israeli filmmaker. So he had apparently, and I'm glad you pointed this out, Jake, because it does become rumors when people start going with stuff. And I probably should have put up his tweet instead of this, but I want to say, yes, the lynch was going around because it was mistranslated from an Israeli app that took the wrong word. So it was never intended to be blown out of that proportion. But we do know he was attacked. How do we know he was attacked? Because we have the footage of that. So let's watch that, and then we'll go from here. Here's the actual attack. Somebody filmed that was there. Here we go.
Hey, no! Can we go back to the car? Guys, back to the car! Back to the car! Back to the car!
Get in the car, get in the car.
Oi.
Get in. Go.
Oh my god.
Oh, good thing this window's working.
My window was broken.
Whose car? I can't go. This is a military.
So that was the attack, the initial attack. Now, when he got, this part is true. When he got into the ambulance, from there, he went missing for 24 hours. Nobody knew what happened to him. So they were trying to piece this story together. What happened in that ambulance? That's where he was supposed to be treated. And so the rest of them got away, but he was from the ambulance, gone 24 hours. So we do know, yes, he did turn up. This is this was Pop-Base put this out. This was this morning. Hamdan Ballal, co-director of No Other Land, has been freed after being handcuffed all night and beaten in a military base. So this is IDF doing this. We know this part for a fact. Hamdan Ballal is now free and is about to go home to his family. There he is holding his Oscar here in Hollywood 3 weeks ago. Where's the coverage from Hollywood? Where is the outcry that an Academy Award winner got abducted by the IDF that we're funding? Where's the outcry? Would there be outcry if it was I don't know, the Macaulay Culkin brother that won his award for playing the I'm a troubled Jew who had to drive through a train through the concentration camps, won an award for that at the same night on the same stage he's standing on? Or I don't know. Maybe it was what's his name? The guy who won. I don't even remember this dude. The second Oscar winner for his performance that threw his gum at his wife, got up there and gave a very obnoxious speech, an entitled speech. Another movie about the Holocaust. Do you think if it happened to him, do you think if either of those two actors that won Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, if they were taken in a hospital and then beat up and put in handcuffs by a military occupation, do you think that Hollywood would care then? Absolutely, they would care.
And this is why, they feel so silenced over there. Their side is never really highlighted like that. You have to go to social media and alternative media to get the story. It's never the front page. Like you would think that would be the headline news on CNN.com, on FoxNews.com. Oscar award-winning director of Best Picture of the Year was just abducted. That sounds like it should be the front page, right? Like when you say it out loud, that sounds like it should be the headline right there. Nothing, because it's a topic that they don't want to highlight. And the truth is, it exemplifies exactly what the film is about. It's a two-tier system where one side is not treated right, is not respected, and all of their missteps or their attempts to fight back are constantly highlighted out of context, and you don't really understand their side of the equation. But when you know the history, it's pretty obvious. But they just exemplified exactly what the whole film was about.
And here's the pushback yesterday before his release from the IDF through the Jerusalem Post, telling us the IDF has dismissed the claim that soldiers invaded the ambulance. He wasn't invaded in the ambulance. So that means the ambulance was headed to the hospital, and that's where he arrived, where he was treated, right? No, that's not what happened. He was handcuffed all night and stuck at a military base. So they're lying. The Jerusalem Post is lying. We know this. That they're lying. This was their cover they put out yesterday. Now we have the actual truth verified that he was in handcuffs all night at a military base. But like you said, Jay, up front, we have to definitely make sure people understand that he is back with his family now. That has happened. So that's great news. It's great that he's alive and well, and he can tell this story. We want to hear from him. We hope to hear from him soon once he's recovered in a good place. But again, this is a filmmaker telling a story. And look, we have to see the film still. I have not seen it yet. I've heard people account for it, that it's just talking about a story from the West Bank, which we know was illegally occupied, has been illegally occupied. The story takes place well before October 7th, and it doesn't really go far enough to challenge the Israel military state. And it's not that you want, you got to do more. What it does is enough. It tells a human story. That's why you have Israelis and Palestinians teaming up to make the film. And you're going to go and beat the crap out of this guy for what? Like, there is a massive problem here. And I think the bigger problem, Jay, is the protection that a story like this gets from mainstream media and from Hollywood. I'm just livid about it because I'm here, right now. And nobody's talking about this right now. Nobody even knows this happened. We put it out, obviously. Our people watching know. But how do you not know that right here? Again, the Hollywood, the big Oscar night. This was the big Oscars. This was just literally 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And you have an Oscar winner ending up like this and not a peep from Hollywood.
And that's why, sometimes it's important to remember, if you're someone who keeps up with these issues, you have to remember that the average everyday person, like, doesn't have all the information. They're not following the issues the same, and they really only hear, like, what's popping up on the headline news every now and then. But most people's social media looks nothing like mine. Like, if you scroll through my timeline is news that I'm interested in and stuff that I want to see. But unfortunately, most people's timeline is filled with, cat videos, fight videos, all that stuff. So, I'm hoping we can get to the place, where more people's timelines have good information so we can start informing each other. But I think we're still adjusting to, how to use the internet and social media properly right now. So we'll see.